Hello, I am Tara from livingonadime.com, and this is my mother,
Jill.
And Mom wrote Penny Pinching Mama, 500 Ways. I lived on $500 a month, and we co-authored 1,200 recipes and tips to save you money on your grocery bill, our Dining on a Dime cookbook. You can get both of these in the description below. The link is down there. We are going through different... how do we say? Things Mom did to live on
ways I saved money.
Yeah, ways she saved money living on $500
how I lived on the
month.
$500.
Yeah, and people will say, well, this happened back in the 80s and early 90s. It's not valuable today. Yes, it is. It's the same principles. You do the same things, and honestly, incomes have gone up.
People still,
but expenses really haven't gone up a ton. Not really. Expenses for bigger houses and stuff, but really it's gone up, but not a huge amount. So
but
you still live on $700 a month.
Yeah, I was going to say the main thing is the incomes have gone up so that a minimum wage, somebody working minimum wage part-time is actually the same amount that I was living on back then. So, it does work. And you still have housing, you still have utilities, you still have groceries, and all the principles apply in the same way.
So today we're talking about utilities, how we paid for heat, electric, phone, water and sewer. So those are the things we're talking about. So how did we save on utilities, Mother?
Well, first of all, the thing that saved us the most was we had a wood-burning stove. And if possible, I recommend anybody get a fireplace or a wood-burning stove, because just for emergency situations, we've lost power before for a couple of weeks and had no heat. And so if you can, do that. And so that helped us more than anything.
And did we live out in the country and cut our own logs?
No, we didn't. No,
we lived in downtown Wichita.
And I didn't buy lumber. It just was
Never purchased firewood ever.
It was, I don't know, we'd have a limb break off the tree or odd things. We'd get pallets a lot that we'd cut up. We'd cut up ourselves sometimes.
Went to the sawmill.
We went to the sawmill. They had chunks. Theirs was really good wood. You go if you have a sawmill, you can go there and they have all kinds of stuff they're throwing out all the time. Yeah. I just searched every place I could to get wood.
And back then we didn't have Craigslist to look for these things. Nowadays you can look on Craigslist and people are giving away firewood all the time for free. But
if I was driving down the street and I saw somebody cutting down a tree or something, I would stop by and ask if I could have the lumber and
they would bring it.
Or I'd haul it in the trunk of the car home. A lot of times. So we just found the wood any place we could. We did have a heating system, a hot water heating system, but it cost so much. We had 10-foot ceilings, a huge Victorian house with zero insulation, nothing for insulation.
We could see the wind blowing through the walls.
Yeah, and stuff. So you could actually feel the cold coming through the walls. And
there was ice on the inside of our windows.
Yeah, so that's why we had to cut off part of the house. And you may have to do that to save on your utilities. You may have to live in a section of your house and not heat the other section if you need to. We would put plastic. You can put plastic on the inside of your windows, and that helps with the heat going out and the cold coming in.
You may have to, if it's like you're a single mom and it's you and your kids, you and your kids all sleep in the same bedroom, turn your heat really down low to 50 degrees at night, and just have a little tiny space heater or something in that one bedroom where you can just heat that one little room or
something. Close off all the vents to all the other rest of the house except for that one room.
Yep.
And keep your thermostat turned down. Okay, Tara has short sleeve on. I have a long sleeve on. I keep my thermostat between 55 and 60 in the winter. And what I do is I just put a long sleeve and usually a sweater on top of that. I see so many people in their homes in the wintertime wearing short sleeves and shorts or tank tops and shorts in the dead of winter, because it's not even entered their mind to turn the thermostat down and wear a long sleeve shirt. And to put socks on your feet to keep your feet warm, or wear slippers.
Yeah, this is not the time when you're...
To be comfortable.
Yeah, you're not going to be comfortable.
No.
I mean, I'm sorry. This is
not
what you need to do to get out of debt.
Yeah, you got to think of temporary.
And so if you're going to have to turn your heat down to 55, you need to do it. You will be perfectly fine. You will be chilly, but you will be fine with a sweater, t-shirt on, whatever. So.
And now, actually, I've gotten to the point where my body is so adapted to that lower temperature that I really get very hot.
Yeah.
And it's not hot flashes. When I come to people's houses, because even if they have it up to 72, I got croak. And so you have got to turn that thermostat down.
And one thing we did was the times when we did use the heat in the house, which wasn't very often, but when we did not use a dryer.
No, never
ever.
used a dryer.
Never
used a dryer.
Well, I mean, she would use it for like 2 or 3 minutes to fluff the clothes.
I would fluff the clothes in them, and that was it. And I didn't even fluff for 5 minutes. I just fluffed long enough to stick another load in, and then I pulled the
And we would lay our clothes on the radiators and let them dry because they were a steam heat, so it wouldn't get hot enough.
Yeah.
It was a hot water steam heat, so it wouldn't get hot enough to burn the clothes or anything. But the rest of the time, we either hung the clothes on the line,
or I used racks.
Or we used drying racks, which we have a whole article on how to dry clothes on a drying rack.
Yeah.
We didn't have a crock pot that we really used that much, so Mom would cook foods like in the morning before she'd go to work on low in the stove, like 175.
But see, that also helped keep the house a little bit warm. It was a double type thing. Another thing too, I didn't allow the kids to do their own laundry because kids have a tendency to they'll do extreme. They'll either put in a month's worth of clothes in the wash machine, or they'll do like 4 shirts. And that wasted water. And I never did a load of laundry unless I did a full big load. It saved on water. It saved, and back then we didn't have the adjustable, water things.
Yeah.
So it saved on water, but it didn't wear my machine out. If you're doing 3 loads with 4 t-shirts in it compared to 1 load, that machine's going to wear out 4 times faster. So I thought of all these things. I didn't want to wear that wash machine out, so I made sure we had a full load every time I did the laundry.
We didn't have a dishwasher.
We had no dishwasher.
We hand-washed dishes.
And I will do a video on that maybe one time about how I did it. People say, oh, well, it uses more water to hand wash dishes. I do a totally different method than what you see where people have the water running, and they just leave the water running while they're washing the dishes. Yeah. I don't even use a gallon of water. I don't even use that much to wash my dishes. And so I learned how to be careful with that when I brush my teeth. I didn't leave the water running while I brushed my teeth. I looked at ways, even like when I would rinse a dish, instead of just have the water running and you're scrubbing, rinsing before you wash them to get the gook all washed off, the food off of them. What I do is I'll put a little bit of water in the bowl, turn the water off, scrub it around, and rinse it out like that instead of leaving a lot of water.
We're probably going to do a show on how to hand wash dishes one day, but yeah, we have an article on how to do that on the website. Let's see. We didn't have cable.
No, we didn't.
Cable is not a necessity, people.
There were a few months and some times where we didn't have a phone.
Yep.
We did not have a phone. And actually, we survived. Not only did we not have a cell phone, we didn't have a phone at home.
Yeah, and as we were showing in Mom's story, which if you want to go back and watch Penny Pinch and Mama, Mom's telling her story of how, we did a bunch of these things, but we didn't have heat or gas.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have electricity for some time.
Disconnected. So, we didn't even have those things.
Sometimes they got disconnected. But, so cable is not a necessity. Period. Can't argue with me. I don't care what you say. It's not a necessity.
No.
Internet. Really? It's not a necessity. I mean,
you can go to the library. If you're looking for a job, go to the library and work from the library.
Let's see. What else? A phone. We didn't have cell phones.
No.
If you feel you just absolutely have to have a cell phone for your safety now, you don't need a smartphone.
No, you just
get
a little burner
phone.
Yeah, or a flip phone. I hear so many people say, well, I only give it to my kids and have it for safety. But they have the most expensive, fanciest...
Yeah, kids don't need a smartphone.
Smartphone. And all the internet stuff or whatever that goes with the phone.
Frankly...
If you want it for safety, if that's what you keep telling yourself, I have to have this phone for safety, don't lie to yourself. Yeah. People are deceiving. You're deceiving yourself.
I am just shocked at the single moms who have so many money problems. Their kids have a smartphone. Their kids have an iPad. Guys, these aren't necessities.
No. Like we
They're
said,
not.
get a little burner phone if you're that worried,
Yeah.
or something for an emergency, but you don't need the expense.
Here's a tip from Mike.
One quick note about the burner phones. If you have a burner phone, you can't really afford a regular phone bill. Instead of paying monthly, get the plan that pays for minutes, because usually you can pay $40 or something, and those minutes will not expire for a year. So for $40 a year, you can have an emergency phone as long as you're not planning to chit-chat on it all the time. So that's Mike's tip. Now back to the show.
See, air conditioning, we did not have central air, but we did lock off or close off 3 rooms with a small
we had a small window because we lived in Kansas. It could be 105.
Mom only turned it on about 3 o'clock in the afternoon when it got really bad, and she only ran it from about 3 to 8 or 9. Sometimes we'd go till 10 and it was just glorious. But the other times we just ran fans, and we only ran the air conditioner when it got really bad, the end of June to the end of August.
Yeah.
We didn't run it all the
time.
And
I learned to do things like close the drapes to keep the sun from coming in and making the house warmer. I learned to adjust to all those types of schedules and things like that, that you just... In the morning when the air was cool, I'd open up the windows to let the air flow through and get the hot air out of the house, and would adjust them that way. And then by noon, if the sun was coming in the window, I would close the drapes to protect from the sun.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of...
I would take and run the ceiling fan in the winter to cause the heat to come down lower because we had such high ceilings. That helped with the heat in the winter even.
Oh, here's one that people don't do a lot. Place towels and blankets. This is in Penny Pinch and Mama 500 Ways. I save $500 a month. Place towels and or blankets across the bottom of the doors or over your windows if there's air blowing.
Go feel the bottom of your door. If there's cold air blowing in there, put a towel across there. I felt that I actually have newer windows in my house, but one of them's not working right, and I felt over the top of it where it closed, and I could feel cold air coming in there, and it was keeping the whole little foyer area in my house freezing cold. I just run a strip of masking tape across that little crack. Instantly, it got warmer. You would be shocked at how much those little cracks cause,
Yeah, and things that we did for, or you can do, not necessarily that we did, but that you can do, you can go to the library. Mom goes every week almost to the library. Well, not every week, but...
No, just...
every week? Okay. And she reads a lot. And read books, and you can check out DVDs, and you can check out those kinds of things at the library. So that's what we did for entertainment instead of, although you were working like 60 hours a week, so you didn't really have time.
Not at that time, but other times when Dad was there, if I would get too hot, if he was gone to work or something, and I would get too hot even after he left when I wasn't working the 60 weeks, what I would do is I would go to the library during the heat of the day. For a couple of hours, because that way I didn't have to turn the air conditioner on. I would go to the grocery store during the heat of the day because I could put off starting the air conditioner a little bit longer by going places during the heat of the day and then start the air conditioner later in the day.
Yep.
So I mean, I had this down to an art. Every little way that I could think of to save on the utilities and things like that.
I think we hit all the utilities.
On the water.
Oh, yeah.
Don't take a shower
every day, people.
And don't take a shower for 30 minutes. I was down to where I could take a 5-minute shower. That's washing my hair. Once in a while, I'd go up to like 7 minutes, maybe if I shaved my legs on top of that. But don't do that. Your skin, as a matter of fact, people worry about all the food. I got to eat healthy. I got to do this. And every dermatologist will tell you, stop taking those showers. And yet we still do that on our skin. We worry about the inside of our body, but we don't worry about our skin getting dried out and messed up.
And I actually timed it one time because I had this argument with someone that you just can't take a shower in less than 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, you can.
I
do it all the
shaved
time.
my legs, shaved my pits, washed my hair, conditioned my hair, and washed my entire body in 3 minutes.
Well, you know what helps with that? In the wintertime, if your thermostat is at 55, you get in and out of that shower real fast, and you don't want to take a shower because it's so cold.
And here's what I would do. I would I can't believe I'm telling people how to take a shower, but I would wash my hair first with the shampoo, with one shampooing only.
One shampoo, that saves.
And then I would put the conditioner on and let the conditioner sit while I soaked down my body. I had the soap on my body, then I shaved everything, and then I rinsed everything from my head down, and I was done in less than 3 minutes.
That's the way you do it. You can do it if you need to. And
yeah.
So don't take a shower every day. Take very short showers. If you have tiny kids and you're giving them a bath, you can put like 2 and 3 year olds. They can take baths together to save on. Don't fill the bathtub full, up to the very top. Take as many showers over baths that you can because
and share baths.
Because showers take less water. If you take a shower and put the plug in and just see how much water you use for a shower compared to taking a bath, you would be shocked. I mean, it's usually only just a couple of inches, if that much.
And when Mike and I didn't have money, because we paid off $20,000 of debt on $22,000 a year income in 5 years with 2 kids. When we were doing that, I would put the kids in the tub in the same bath water, and then I would keep the bath water in there, and I would use that for my bath.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they used to do that all the time. People would do that.
And even now sometimes we'll even do that with the littler kids. Like, we're trying to save on our water right now, so the littler kids, I'll just put them in, and then I'll take my bath afterwards. So, I know, I can just wait to get the emails and comments on that one. I can just wait.
But we live to tell about it. We actually live to tell about it.
I know.
And we get compliments on our skin a lot of times, and stuff like that.
We're going to do a show on that. But yeah. And one thing, Mike was waving at me from behind the scenes saying, in our shower, I have a pump bottle that was shampoo. I purposely bought the shampoo just for the pump bottle. And they use 1 squirt to wash their hair. If it's really long hair, you can do 2. But yeah, that's what we used to do. But the shower every day, people, is what is killing
And
your
another
water
thing
bill.
people don't realize, they holler about mold in their showers. They holler about their bathtub. How do you keep these things clean? If you're only taking 1 shower not every week, but I mean, I take more than that.
Yeah.
But if you're taking like half the amount or 1/4 the amount of showers, that bathroom's not going to get as dirty. You don't have to clean as much. You don't have to use as much cleaner in the bathtub. You don't have to worry about mold because you're not in the shower for 30 minutes wetting those walls down. If you take a 5-minute shower, you don't even have time to get that steam in there to cause mold. So it just follows down the line. You save on cleaner. You save on mold and all this other
Always open a
time.
window if you don't have a fan, if you have a window and can, or crack your door if you're home by yourself, and that really helps keep the airflow so you don't have
But I
mold
couldn't figure out
buildup.
why. My showers are so short that I don't even get the mirror steamed up half the time. Don't use excessive when you turn the water on. If it feels cold, instead of adding more hot water to get it warm, turn the cold water down. And do the little things like that.
Yep. So that is how Mom was penny pinching Mama. She's actually the original one. Somebody stole her name. But she raised 2 teenagers on $500 a month. You can get her ebook down below, or our cookbook, Dining on a Dime Cookbook, 1,200 Ways to Save on Your Grocery Bill. And it's a bad thing, as we're going along doing this, I'm adding things to the list.
I know. So now I'm going to do more.
So anyway, we will be back with another episode. Please visit us at livingonadime.com, and we will see you later.
Bye-bye.